Welcome to my storytelling space. A story is waiting. Join us. Come in. And now, if you're ready, the tale will begin. The Elephant and the Bees. Once, a great fire raged through the forests. The elephants were trapped and didn't know which way to go. They couldn't escape from the impending flames that were almost surrounding them. Now a swarm of bees flew over top, and the elephants called out, "Bees, bees, please help us find a way to escape." And the bees looked down, and there were the elephants. They didn't know which way to go. And an elephant called, "Please go up high, you can fly. See which way we should go." So the bees flew up, and they looked around. And when they looked to the east, flames soared. And when they looked to the west, the fire roared. And then when they looked to the south, flames were there as well. But when they looked to the north, there appeared to be a hill, and on the other side of the hill there was a river. "Follow us," said the bees to the elephants. "We can lead you to a place of safety." And so the bees took the elephants up, 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 up the hill, and then down, 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 and right to the river. And they told the elephants, "Wade in, and you will be safe there." So the elephants waded in until just their little noses were showing. Now the noses of the elephants in those days were very short. They weren't those long trunks that they have today. More like a little pig's nose. Well, just as the bees were about to fly away, didn't the flames come leaping over that hill and down, and smoke was billowing everywhere, and bees are terrified of smoke. And so they called to the elephants, "Elephants, elephants, please open your mouths and let us in so we can be saved." Well, the elephants were horrified. Open their mouths? Let bees into their heads? But the bees had saved the elephants, so they had to do it. So they opened up their mouths, and the bees swarmed in. Well, the fire burned, and the fire burned out. And so when the elephants saw that, they stood up. And oh, the buzzing sound that was in their head, they could not stand. That buzzing was so loud that it caused them to be unable to think, and it made them shake their heads and shake their heads. So they opened their mouths and they said, "Bees, come out, it's safe now." But the bees said, "Well, no, we like it in here. It's dark and it's warm, and it's a perfect place for us to live and make our honey." The elephants couldn't believe it. The sound in their head was horrible. And they shook their heads and they said, "Please, bees." But those bees had decided that this was the best place to live. Well, they had to do something, those elephants, and so they said, one elephant said, "I know what to do. Let's drink water and blow it out through our noses, and we'll blow the bees out." So they sucked up some water, and then they blew it out through their nose. Boom, boom, boom. But that didn't work, and so they tried it again. And they blew out the water through their nose. Boom, boom, boom. But that didn't work either. And all the elephants said, "Keep trying, keep trying." And so the elephants sucked up water and blew it out through their noses, and sucked up water and blew it out through their noses. And their noses were beginning to get longer and longer and longer. "This isn't working," said one elephant. And they stood there shaking their long noses. And then one elephant said, "Bees are terrified of smoke." And so they hurried over and they built themselves a little fire, and they got the smoky fire going, and they threw leaves on so that the fire would produce lots and lots of billowy smoke. And then they breathed in the smoke, and they held their breath. Now, when the bees could smell the smoke and see it enveloping them, they were terrified, and they said, "Open your mouths, we'll come out." And out flew the bees, and they flew around and far and wide, looking for holes in trees that look exactly like the heads of elephants, and a place that is dark and warm, and that's where they go now to make their honey. And well, those elephants, they were so happy not to have that horrifying buzzing sound in their heads. But they now have very long noses. So if you happen to be out and you see an elephant slurping water up into his mouth and then blowing it out through his nose, prum, prum, you'll know that they somehow think they still have those bees in their heads. And so you just stop and say, there, elephants. The bees are gone. The bees are gone. And that story I found in a resource book by Margaret Reed MacDonald. And it is a story from Thailand. So I hope you enjoyed the story, and come back again and see if you can find another one. Bye-bye for now.